Well, Dave, first of all, obviously, let's talk about the FA Cup, because I mean we've only got to look back to the less than 12 months as to the experience of which the football club had, and it was a fantastic experience. Can you just recall that moment of going to the Etihad Stadium, and what that FA Cup run meant to the club at that time?
Well, obviously, it played a big part in us gathering momentum from there on in towards obviously the remainder of that season. But the day itself was just a fantastic occasion for not only our supporters but obviously the players and the staff. And it's a day for the football club that hopefully will long live in the memory.
It's those sort of days as well that's what the FA Cup's all about, isn't it? I mean, I'm not taking anything away from Kings Lynn, of course, that your opponents the weekend, but it's games like that you have to navigate yourself through to get to that lucrative third round tie. So, it's a tricky competition, but a very rewarding one.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And as a staff and as a group of players, we're obviously well aware of that. We've got a tough game tomorrow. Kings Lynn, they're a good side. They've got a good way of playing. So we need to make sure that we're at our best tomorrow to allow us to experience a day like we had last year.
Completely different, of course, from the FA Cup last season to this season, because as we alluded to, that trip to Manchester City and the thousands of people and thousands of Vale fans that were able to go to that one, we're in a very different time now with coronavirus. And I know it's not the same opponents, but the fact that nobody is there other than staff and a few members of the media to watch it makes it very difficult. So those challenges still remain that you have every week, I guess, when it comes to the league, of just keeping players motivated for it.
Yeah, I mean, as I say, we're a group of professional people, and our job is to win football matches. Obviously, we'd rather be winning matches in front of our supporters and giving them the pleasure. But whilst we haven't got them there, we have to make sure that if and when they are allowed back in, which hopefully will be soon, then we're in a good situation and a good position for them to carry us on and push us further forward.
Has there been much talk around the training ground over the last week or so about that Manchester City game? The reminiscing and the smiles on the faces. And I'm guessing you encourage that because you want to keep positivity around, especially during this weird situation in which we're in.
Yeah, no, the lads are obviously a very good group to work with. They come in every day, work very hard. Generally, they're very positive in their approach to every game we play. To be honest with you, I haven't heard much about the Man City game, but obviously we're looking forward to what will be a tough FA Cup tie against Kings Lynn.
Yeah, and I don't want to sort of dwell on that Manchester City game, but there was a key element to that as well with the financial reward that the club got. Now, I'm not saying that the club is in any financial bother at all at the moment, but had you not had that financial reward from the FA Cup, who knows what might be happening with football and the football club, given the coronavirus and the lack of finances that are coming into the football club. So it just goes to show that you have to take these cup competitions seriously, doesn't it? Whether it's this season, next season, or the year after, they're all really important because you just don't know what's around the corner.
No, absolutely, Matt. I mean, any extra revenue we can get into the football club by winning matches, whether it be in the FA Cup, the Football League Trophy, we have to try and do our best, but take the money out of it in terms of obviously we appreciate that helps the football club, and we'll do all we can. But as I say, generally it's about trying to win football games, and we do that anyway.
Okay, on to Kings Lynn then. How much do you know about them? Because you won't know an awful lot, I'd imagine.
No, well, we didn't when the draw was made, to be quite honest with you. But we've managed to get a good look at them this week. Obviously, with the Scunthorpe game being postponed, it's given us time to get as much information as we can, and we've looked at one or two match highlights from their previous sort of 2 or 3 games. So yeah, we're well prepared for them, and we know that tomorrow's going to be a tough game for us.
Yeah, and I guess you can throw form out the window because they're not in particularly great form. They'd won their last game, but I think they'd lost the 4 previous to that and conceded an average of 3 goals a game in the last 5 matches. But you can throw that completely out the window, can't you, when it comes to FA Cup ties or any cup tie for that matter?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we know that their level of performance is going to be raised probably 20-25% from what their normal league performance is, because as you say, it's the FA Cup and they're special days. We have to make sure it's a special day for us, and hopefully we can remain in the hat for the second round draw.
There hasn't been an awful lot of changes to the starting 11 for the last 3 games. You've won 3 in a row now. Is it still very much on your mind that you want to keep that consistency, you want to keep that momentum that you've got, or do you look at some of the maybe one or two other players that you think, well, this is now your opportunity, because we do have to have a bit of squad rotation? I mean, you have been in some ways lucky that you didn't have your midweek game, so it has allowed players to get a bit of a midweek rest.
Yeah, they have had a little bit of recovery time, and it's enabled us to do some work on the training ground as well, which is always handy at this time of the season. As far as team selection goes, generally, we're looking to, as you say, maintain that momentum, carry that forward. Obviously, we've got the Football League Trophy game on Tuesday, when things maybe we might give more of an opportunity to those sort of players that haven't figured as much as they would have liked recently.
Yeah, and Tom Pope, for example, is one player that I think is certainly giving the manager food for thought. He's not. Well, he started against Southend, and he'd been coming off the bench on the previous couple of matches, but scored away at Roots Hall as well. Scored in the FA Cup at Manchester City. This is a competition that he loves. He'll be hoping that he might be handed the jersey for tomorrow.
No, I'm sure he will. He's no different to anyone else. They all want to play. Tom's no different. We just need to make sure that we manage Tom properly in terms of what he does in the week, and how many games, sort of Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday. Obviously, that's not been an issue this week. So I'm sure Tom, like all the others, hopefully are chomping at the bit to go tomorrow.
It'd be very invaluable, I suppose, in terms of experience against a team like Kings Lynn. Tom Pope, the way that he's come through the football pyramid to make it as professional, he's very wily. He knows what to expect, and what might be dished out by, say, non-league, non-league centre halves. He'll be able to give as good as he gets if he is selected.
Oh no, absolutely. Tom's well aware of the threats and the issues that you have to deal with against a Kings Lynn type team. But we've got quite an experienced side. We've got a group of players that are well equipped to deal with these type of games, and we'll be hoping that will be the case tomorrow.
That's fine for me. Thank you very much, Dave.
Thank you, Matt. Cheers, pal. Good to see
you. And you. His bag is in. Yeah, he's up there.
He is. Hey, Mike.
Morning, Dave. I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, good, thanks, pal. Yeah, fine.
Dave, I've only got a couple of more questions, if that's okay, mate.
No worries, no worries.
First of all, I mean, you mentioned the Man City game, and quite often when we talk about big cup ties, they'll go in as the underdogs, and I just wonder how much will it be about mentality tomorrow, because you go in against the favourites, against the team from division below.
Well, absolutely. I mean, that side of the game, we've got to make sure we approach the game properly, and we'll show Kings Lynn every respect they deserve. But at the same time, we've got to go in full of confidence and full of belief that we can go and get the job done, and as I say, put ourselves in the hat for the second round.
If I just ask you about one player who's probably the only player on the long-term injury list, James Gibbons, at the moment. How's he progressing, Dave? And first of all, how just tell us your sort of thoughts about him as he sort of makes that sort of long road back to fitness.
Yeah, I mean, James comes in regular, so we're seeing him around the club, and to be fair to him, he's coming in with a very upbeat, very positive. He's working very hard. It's obviously very much gym-based work at the moment, but he's going about his work as he always does in a really professional manner. And as I say, he's in and around the lads, so he's not sort of isolated in terms of just being on his own in getting on with his work. But obviously it's good to have him about the place, and he's working very hard. But as I say, in terms of having him in our minds for selection, he's still obviously a long way off.